everybody. It is Wednesday. Jennifer back in first. Just beating out Kitty. How are you tonight? How is everybody this Wednesday night? Hello, everybody. Great to have you with us. Wednesday. Linda's on. Hey, Angela, I'm doing well. Dennis, Adele, and Dazzle. Great to have everybody here. Hey, Krita. Good to have everybody here. Kim. We're like almost back to English there, Dennis. You are back in Texas. Hey, Kim. Linda is on. Great to have everybody here with us tonight. Tell me what we're grateful for on this Hump Day. Hump Day. Jeremy's with us. Yay, Jeremy. Great to have you with us, Jeremy. Joanne is with us in Chicago. How are we doing tonight, people? My German's a little rusty. I learned German in high school. I took German in high school. I did. My German's rusty. I even spent a summer in Germany. I got, being the oops baby, I got the Air Force, my sister's husband, to help me see the world. I got to go visit them in the summers and see the world without having to do the Air Force part, which I think we're all thankful for. Had a fantastic sales day. That is awesome, Linda. Hey, Nancy, great to have you with us. What else are we grateful for? A great sales day. I got a lot done. I'm caught up on a lot of calls today. I caught up on a lot of my calls today. I have dwindled the call list today dramatically. I was very excited by that, to connect with so many of you. I loved a couple of you today where wow, he answers his phone when we called back. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. If I'm not on another call, I answer it. Okay? I do. It is a thing I do. So tell me about our day today. Tell me about your Wednesday. My Wednesday was pretty darn good. 75% off at another season. Whoa, that is awesome, Krita. And it's doing well. That is even better. Hey, Sarah. I talked to people in Nebraska today a few times. I didn't talk to you, but I talked to others in Nebraska. There's more than one Nebraska. Or more than one person in Nebraska. Oh, it's been a long day, but a good day. Good day. Good today. Got a lot of interviews set up for tomorrow. We'll see how many of them show up, but we have many candidates lined up for tomorrow, which is a good thing. So we can grow our way out of this. Gonna grow our way out of this. We're at the halfway point in July, everybody. Halfway through the month of July, which is a great thing. Which is truly, we're in 2020 2.0, and we're growing our way out of this, people. Gonna grow our way. Yeah, there are a few of you there, Sarah. That's okay. But at least, hey, the fact that I remembered you're in Nebraska and I talked to people in Nebraska, the fact that I could remember those details out of today is good for me. I'll give myself a pat on the back. I like that, Kim. That sounds very good. Hey, Alexa! There's a good Texan. Barb! From Pittsburgh. Not a good Texan, but, A good Pennsylvanian. How's that? That's great, Kim. A lot of the landlord talks are going really well. I've been involved in a bunch of them with people and working that out, and a lot of them are going really well. You know, a little bit of shared pain among everybody has been a good partnership. They get that you can't be the best in business. They can't have the best tenants if you're not in business. So it's important to everybody. It's important to everybody. But they also have to document it. You got to understand that landlords need to have it documented and their leases updated to reflect that, so that they remain current with their loan covenants. The covenants on their commercial spaces have to are based on those leases being current and not allowing leases to slip so far behind and everything else. They can do things to shuffle things and do things, but that's all going to be documented and filed so that they're not in default on their loan covenants. Hey, Sylvia, great to have you with us. Great to have you here. I am glad to have everybody here. The Johnsons have just joined us on this Wednesday night. Melissa's with us on her vacation in Florida, joining us live. She must think I'm going to say something important tonight. All right, tonight we're going, I'm really going with these low page numbers lately. Hey, Kelly, great to have you with us. Good morning, good night book. It's how we start the program every night. We start with the good morning, good night book. And tonight we're going to page 8. For those of you that follow along, page 8. Good morning. Lead with gratitude. We do that. What are we grateful for? The air in your lungs, the sky above you. Proceed from there. Boom. That is our good morning tonight. We lead with gratitude every night. What we're grateful for. Grateful for a good friend that fixes appliances. I have John at Family Appliance, Kelly. John at Family Appliance. Know our strengths. Again, fixing things is not my bailiwick. I snuck a dolly home, that needs to get new tires put on it, so that my repair lady, when she's here tomorrow, when Val is here at the house doing stuff, she can put new tires on that tomorrow while she's here. Add to the list. Hey, Karen, you've been found. And there were no chilled scotch glasses tonight, so we went with gin. Need gin and tonic tonight. Karen probably went over to Bannerman Beer Company or something and had a beer there. So I have got a bunch of stuff tonight. I have been covering a bunch of different topics. Number one up tonight, because literally up to like 10 minutes ago I've been talking about this with you guys, and that's actually taken a lot of my day, believe it or not, today is April 15th. It is April in July. I know they have Christmas in July in some places, but here in pandemic 2020, we are having April in July. Yes, April in July has arrived. It is tax day, people. If you have not done your taxes, do them, okay? My father used to always say the one government agency that does anything on time is the IRS. Okay, they will find you. And when they say they're going to do something, they tend to do it. Hey, Heidi in Iowa. Good to have you with us. But tax day, get them done, get them filed. Even if you can't pay right now, get them filed. You don't want the penalties. And more of you are getting a refund than owes. So it's just get that headache. I had an employee of ours make herself literally sick, okay, trying to get her taxes done. And hers aren't that complicated. I'm like, I'm not supposed to dispense true tax advice as a tax professional, but I just wanted to do them for her because it's really not that bad. And ultimately, I want everybody to get them done. I don't want you to be on the wrong side of the government. The only thing that is certain in life is death and taxes, and taxes has you on the right side of the grass. As also my father would say, it's better to be on the right side of the grass. So I hope that nobody here on the call tonight is stressing out over taxes. But if you are, just get them done, people. Just sit down and do them. Fill in some numbers. It's all good. Hey, Yvonne, it's good to see you on the call tonight, live. So that is the top of the form. It is April and July, so let's get that done. We should also cover, because I've had this conversation a few times today, the PPP is still available. If you have not gotten a PPP, you have until August 8th to get a PPP. And you can get one in fairly quickly. It shouldn't take that long, and if you have payroll, or if you paid yourself in 2019, it should not be that hard for you to get one. So that is good. Also, the EIDL is available again. The EIDL is available. If you have not gotten an EIDL and you are eligible, the EIDL is insurance. I'm not advocating debt. I want a bunch of debt-ridden stores. I am advocating insurance. Think of the EIDL loan, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan from the SBA, as insurance. We don't know what the future holds. I believe the future holds great brightness and great hope. But I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know everything. So the EIDL is just a little bit of security blanket. If everything is great and you never needed the EIDL money, you can pay it back, and you'll pay a little bit of interest over a year. But think of that just as the cost of insurance. So just keep that in mind. Alexa, I hope so, to answer your question. So Alexa just asked, for those of you that can't see the questions, can I get another one? She just used up all her PPP money. And the answer to that is maybe. Maybe, Alexa. And I'm glad you were able to use yours up. So the answer to that is maybe, and I'll know more next week. I am optimistic that they put together a bill that includes targeted industries, which retail would be one of them. Retail, hospitality, travel are a couple restaurants. So think that those broad terms of industries are expected, if they offer a second PPP, to be allowed to get one. Part of it will be that you exhausted your first PPP. Alexa has, so that would check one box. Check! But I'll keep you informed on that. We're going to know more next week when Congress is back in session. They have a limited amount of time before their August recess, and they have several things they're going to deal with. PPP forgiveness, liability reform, how to fund our states and cities, and the possibility of a second PPP, as well as rapid forgiveness for the PPP, so that we don't have to go through this arduous task of forgiveness. Which is also why, because I've talked to many of you guys about it today, why the PPP forgiveness is not ready yet. Well, I'm ready, I used it up, I want to fill out the form, and you call up your bank and your bank's not ready to take it yet, or they don't have their portal ready yet. And they're banking on that Congress approving automatic forgiveness on a loans below a certain amount. So we're waiting on that, and it's expected as part of this next bill. The banks are lobbying heavy for this Because you got to remember that 86% of the loans are below $150,000. 86% of the loans. And that represents only 26% of the money. 86% of the loans, 26% or so of the money. So it makes everybody's life easier if they just automatically forgive them. The amount of work and labor on both the government, there's no such thing as a really, really safe mutual fund, Alexa. They're in the rough and tumble world that the stock market is right now. This is for safety, Alexa. This is for safety, and you should keep it aside and keep it safe. Just take the amount and be done with it, Kim, before you lose your offer. It would be my initial recommendation. You can pay it down. It'll be easier to pay it down than it will be to lower your amount if you're still stuck in limbo. The slider does work. Well, let me rephrase that. It has worked for many people in there. Okay, there's a slider. It's a very faint, right below the loan amount, where you can slide it and choose a different amount up to the amount you're approved for. But if it's not working, you're better off taking the approved and paying it down. But I would give it a little bit of time before you paid it down. I'd give into next year, just not encouraging debt, but encouraging safety. Okay, and it is Hurricane Preparedness Week in Massachusetts, and down there in Texas, you've been hit with one or two of those. So again, I'm just all about safety right now. I'd rather let you have some cheap money, even if it's costing something, and be safe, than not. That is my ultimate concern, because that allows you to live to fight another day. This is all about surviving and living to fight another day, people. And I've been extremely encouraged by all the sales results and numbers that I've been working on with people. I've been extremely encouraged. But that doesn't tell us what August is going to bring. It doesn't tell us what, right now, it's too hard to predict what today will bring for sales, what tomorrow will bring. You know, there's all this talk. Are we going to have a V-shaped recovery, a W-shaped recovery? Fair enough, Kim. You know, are you going to have a W? So a V-shaped recovery is you're up here for sales, you go down, and then you bounce back. A W is you're up here, you're down, you're up, you're down, then you're up. And quite honestly, Nervous Nelly in Naples, I don't, we're going to work on your loan. I don't want any more. Yes, you'd be able to get one because each event is held independently. And because the SBA doesn't want to take your call anymore. They would just give her a loan to make her go away. I don't think this recovery has a letter. Okay, quite honestly. The guys on TV will tell you we got to have a V or a W, or what letter are we going to go with? Okay, I think this goes with the squiggle. Okay, is the kind of recovery. I think it's going to be good. I think our industry is going to fare exceptionally well. Okay, but it is not a straight line in any one direction. Okay, it's bouncing around. Okay, it's like the hyper children that have been stuck in our houses. Okay, it is that kind of recovery that we're going to have. Although I am very encouraged that things are going generally well. You know, when people are saying I'm having 70%, 80%, or I'm up, or I'm flat, Okay, these are very encouraging signs, and I'm very excited about them. Okay, but did you have a good Wednesday? I had a great day in sales today. You had a good Wednesday. Was it a good Wednesday because it's Wednesday? And was it good for a Wednesday? Was it good for a Wednesday in July? Or is it good for a time during a pandemic? Which of those questions are you answering when you say you're having a good day in sales? So just keep that in mind, and be thankful for the blessings when you are having good days, because not every day will be great, okay? I almost feel like advice we got when we got married. Being married is tough, and not every day will be a perfect day, but you still need to love each other. Well, you still need to love your business, and you need to love your customers, and you need to love your employees, and you need to love what you do, okay? But not every day will be perfect, okay? So just keep that in the back of your head. Squirrel away money as it comes in, as you have these good days. Squirrel it away so that you have it for a rainy day, because rainy days do happen. Okay? Sometimes it pours. And it is literally Hurricane Preparedness Week in Massachusetts. They have it on all the highway signs. Oops, that went down the wrong pipe. That went down the wrong pipe, people. And my table got moved. Whoa! That is great, Yvonne. I'm grateful to hear that. Isn't it just the greatest thing, Yvonne, to see people? I mean, that's really part of the greatest thing about being reopened and talking to people, is actually seeing people. I mean, yes, I'm okay, Anita. I just went down the wrong pipe there. It is seeing and being around people is just really one of the greatest gifts of this, of being back open. And hearing how much they missed you. They missed you, and they missed your store. So that is a very good thing. Let's see what we got going on here tonight, because I got some other information for you too. Yeah, I can imagine, because I mean, it really had to have been weird. Yvonne, especially, I mean, it's been too long. Back to school spending could hit a record as parents buy costly technology for kids at home. Parents of kids in elementary through high school plan to spend an average of $789 per family, topping a previous record of $696. Spending on college students, meantime, is expected to be $1,059 per family, which would top last year's record of $976. And I know that makes Yvonne, who's got will have a freshman in college, excited that the cost went up $100. Most parents don't know whether their children will be sitting in a classroom or in front of a computer in the dining room, but they do know the value of an education. By any measure, this is an unprecedented year with great uncertainty, including how students will get their education this fall, whether they are in kindergarten or college. Parents are navigating the uncertainty by making sure students are prepared with the right tools if learning is forced online. Oh, I love that. The customer came in just to make sure you're okay. Overall, 63% of parents plan to buy computers and other electronics this year, up from 54% in 2019. College students, 60% plan to buy electronics, up from 53% a year ago. Clothing, on the other hand, it may suffer. 37% of parents plan to go to department stores, down from 53% a year ago, and just 30% plan to visit clothing stores, down from 45% in 2019. The anxiety finds its source in several different places. Some parents are worried about their children falling behind academically. There are also health and safety concerns and worries about finances. 38% of people indicated high what does that say? High financial concern regarding the upcoming school season. Hey, Rick, how are you? Retail shrink is at an all-time high, and I've told you this has been a big concern about organized crime. Retail shrink at all-time high rises more than totaled $61.7 billion in 2019, up from $50.6 billion the year before. Amid the number one reason, rising employee theft, then shoplifting, then organized crime. That's according to the National Retail Federation. Shrink averaged 1.62% of sales during 2019, up from 1.38% in 2018. Uh, 49% said the largest increase in fraud occurred in stores. 26% said it happened online, and 19% cited multi-channel, including where the purchase is made online, but the merchandise picked up in store. Typical fraud instances range from the use of stolen credit cards or card numbers and gift card scams to the return of stolen merchandise for refunds. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, Joe is with us tonight. I've talked about leases before, and, making long-term good deals, okay? And why do I talk about that? Because it's what the big guys do, okay, one. And two, it keeps your costs in line. It's good for landlords. It's good for you as a tenant. And it's good for the longevity of your business beyond you. Okay, having a good, strong lease in place allows for transfer of your business down the line. And, I thought I would share this with you about the company that is marketing for Neiman Marcus leases. So they're trying to sell the leases on these desirable properties in Walnut Creek, California, Bellevue, Washington, Palm Beach, Florida, and Washington, D.C. With long-term multiple option leases, these buildings are situated in prime, high-visibility retail districts and are an incredible opportunity. For example, the one in Washington, D.C., their current term expires at the end of November 2027, but it has options available through May of 2051. Their one in Palm Beach ends in 2026, but has options till May of 2051. Their one in Bellevue, Washington, has, hang on, let me do this one. Walnut Creek, California, a current term expires in 2032, but it has options available through 2112. And their one in Bellevue, Washington, 124,000 square feet, Current term expires in January of 2040. But there are options available through January of 2130. Okay, January 2130, more than 100 years from now. And I have been involved in companies that have had, and worked with companies, consulted with companies that have had leases like this, okay? Or taken over other companies' leases that had it before them, okay? Department stores that were defunct for 30 years before, that they had taken over that. I mean, it becomes very, very interesting how that all develops. And it just gives you a longer-term mindset, okay? Longer-term, cheaper cost. So, just something to keep in mind. Hey, Sage, how are you? For those of you in the Northeast, actually mid like Delaware area, the Paper Store is a regional gift chain that filed with 86 stores. Actually based here in Massachusetts, that is filing for bankruptcy, which is sad to see. They got hit by they're overall a very well-run company. I know people that work for their corporate office and such, and they have got hit between losing Easter, Mother's Day, and really, I mean, Valentine's Day wasn't what it was in some of their stores as cases started to spark in the country. So, tons of debt. Yeah, and they had a stormy winter season that lost $2 million. I mean, I know here in Massachusetts, they had over $1 million in Easter candy that they couldn't do anything with. So, I mean, it's just a sad state of things that happen to them that's forcing that, and it's still family owned. 86 stores and largely family owned. It's just sad to see that that happen to them. Hey, Jennifer Dodds, how are you? This is really cool. Okay. One shoe at a time. Zappos. Zappos, after years of customer requests, Zappos is taking steps to make footwear lineup inclusive. Under our pilot program, Zappos will sell single shoes and mixed size pairs to help people who are underserved by footwear companies, like customers who use prosthetics. Well, quite honestly, it's a lot of people that are just a little bit different in one foot than the other. Nike, Stride-Rite, New Balance are among the companies that is participating in the split shoe pairs in the warehouse. In the future, Zappos hopes to buy individual shoes at the start and sign on more brand. It's a $10.6 billion industry of people catering to people with health conditions or disabilities. But I thought that was kind of interesting, starting to sell one shoe. Hey, Diane, how are you? So, and thinking of trade wars, and how we're now we have the one going on with China. It looks like we're getting into a tariff fight with France and Europe. We took a look at the Ad Age archives and a fascinating dive into the efforts of a group of American businessmen to encourage the consumption of U.S.-made goods to ease the Great Depression. Nearly 88 years ago, America was a hot brand, or at least the idea of buying American-made goods was hot. As the Trump administration's trade war with China continues to unfold, a dive into the Ad Age archives for our 90 Years of Ad Age series reveals just how endless such rhetoric and posturing has been across the decades. Buy American wave gains in intensity. National action scene reads the headline atop the front page of the December 24th, 1932 issue of Advertising Age. The news hook back then was a grassroots initiative by some American businesses to encourage the consumption of U.S.-made products in an effort at ending or at least mitigating the Depression. Ad Age called the Buy American push an appeal to national pride and self-respect that ran like a flash of powder from coast to coast. In that pre-Christmas week, thanks in part to a sensational campaign by The Fair, a Chicago department store headed by R.F. Kelly, who happened to be the former president of the National Retail Dry Goods Association. On an inside page of Ad Age, we showed the centerpiece of the Fair's campaign, a print headlined, "Hats Off to American-Made Goods," and depicting Uncle Sam, yes, doffing his hat. The copy reads, "Buy American and put America first in industry and progress. Remember, a dollar spent on American-made goods is a dollar earned by American labor. Wear American-made clothes. Fill your home with the beauties and comforts of American arts and crafts. It's for your material good to be patriotic in dollars as well as in cents. United we stand in support of a square deal for American labor, sound value and fine quality for American dollars. Get aboard the bandwagon and join the fair in this progressive movement to boost American industry." And do I have the actual copy of the ad? I have the front page headline. And there was even the Made in America Club. There's insignia there. Made in America Club. Hey, that's okay, hey Jennifer. Hopefully it was a heck of a hump day there and the register was filled. Now, I wanted to give you guys a different perspective on that Buy American there for just a second. I have a good friend who I actually do some of my lobbying with, and he owns a furniture store, a Made in America furniture store, as much as possible, which is kind of interesting. And it's one of the oldest furniture stores in America, still in operation in America. You know, I talked with him today about this, and quite often I call him the professor, okay? And he's got the little beard thing going, and he's late 70s, early 80s, late 70s, I think. And he's just a really, he always has a historical perspective to everything. So I call him the history professor. And his perspective on that was, which I found interesting as well, was Buy American, what good did it do? The Depression lingered on for another 6 to 8 years. Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley bill that put huge protectionist tariffs on imports, which started a trade war in Europe, with huge tariffs on American goods. The result was a huge loss in exports and the manufacturing jobs. Buy American is important, but buy anything is even more important. What stimulates the economy is spending, regardless of what is bought. $100 spent on imported goods is more important than $25 spent on domestic. Between retail markup and the internal cost of distributions, which all add to the economy, around 20% of the retail dollars for imports goes overseas, and 75% stays in our country. Job losses in manufacturing are compensated with added jobs in distribution and retailing. Economic statistics right now, I feel, are fabricated. The nation's GDP has to be falling because people are not spending on travel, entertainment, dining out, sports, etc. People have disposable income, but no place to spend it. Eventually, the government stimulus money will dry up, and the Fed will have to stop printing money. Otherwise, inflation will take over. But I just had to share that perspective. Right, Twiggy. I mean, you know, and he talks about it in his furniture store. You know, like when him and I are lobbying in D.C., you know, you can have even the stuff he gets from the Amish furniture makers, okay? How much more made in America can you get in that? Well, the knobs or the rails on an Amish dresser are not made in America, okay? The leather, there's not a tannery in America, okay? So you know, where all this is coming from and made in America, it is a we are a world economy. We are interconnected. Okay, the world is connected, but and it's just a different perspective, and it's a lot of different things going on with that. But I thought I'd share that for discussion, not to get political. Okay, and entering the debate on, again, not to get political, but let's get political for a second here. So, retailers and the National Retail Federation and others have been calling on Congress, calling on the president, calling on the governors' associations, the state of government, the various governors of the state. It is interesting, and he's right on. His numbers, he's a very good historian. I mean, he knows his stuff. I mean, I love sending him things because the response is just right on. And he's just, I call him the Professor Ivan. Okay, so the debate is shifted, and this is going to get interesting here over the next couple of weeks with the pandemic and everything. While the various associations haven't given up calling on the president, calling on the governors of the states to have a universal national mask policy, they took a different approach starting today. And that is they are asking the retailers to lead. And the retailers are stepping up to lead. Okay, and it started with Walmart today. I mean, granted, Starbucks had done it already. Starting today, Starbucks requires masks in all their stores. Walmart, starting Monday, will require masks nationwide in all of their stores. Best Buy is requiring it. And other retailers are lining up behind them to make a national mask policy in their stores. And that is really huge, okay? That is going to change the conversation about it. It is going to, it is going to change it is going to change the entire conversation on masks, I believe. I believe in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have an entirely conversation about the acceptability of masks and who it's protecting and how we're protecting each other by wearing them. That right now, that is the proven thing to protect against the virus. And that's really, we're trying to protect everybody. We're trying to go on with life as normal as we can and protect ourselves and protect others from this highly contagious virus. And so by Walmart, yes, that is what they're doing. They are going to enforce it. Yvonne, you are correct. They are not just putting up a pretty sign. They say they're going to enforce a no mask, no entry policy. Okay, and that's not easy. Especially in some parts of the country, that's not easy. There are strong beliefs around this, but I think this will help it along. We have a lack of consistency and leadership across the country on this issue, but I think, the medical science is leading us there, and I am hopeful that this helps out. I don't think anybody's going to come out of this saying, oh, I love wearing my mask. I miss people's smile. I miss talking face to face with people. I miss the hug, the handshake. But the reality is we have to protect everybody, okay? And this does it, okay? This and washing your hands is huge to slow the spread. And so that is a real leadership role that retailers like Walmart are taking, and I'm glad that they're finally doing it. Okay, They looked for others to do it so they could blame somebody else for it. But they know it's the right thing. Right, it is totally out of concern. Okay, but we're going to get there. And so by leading in this way, and the National Retail Federation and the other associations are calling on businesses to do this. And so by leading with a mask policy and a nationwide one, that's good, Kim. I'm glad. I'm glad it ended well. It is not fun, and yeah, people don't want to wear, and that's okay. That's their choice. It's also your choice not to let them in your store. And it is the right thing to do. So I'm glad you're going to see many more retailers on a nationwide basis implement this this week, announce it this week, and implement it by next week so that they can get their staff trained. They're doing situational training in their stores to help their staff deal with it and deal with the people getting mad. I mean, you know, I know some ice cream parlor owners that have been just getting beat up by this, and it's just silly the way they're getting treated. So it's not right. Just be kind. Save everybody on Foundation. Yes, but I mean, it is for the safety of all. It is the right thing to do. So I am really excited about this. I'm really excited on the National Retail Federations and other associations that are calling on this. So far signed on are Walmart, Starbucks, Best Buy, BJ's Wholesale Club, Apple, Costco, and others have implemented it. It is going to be tough, but it is the right thing. It is in parts of the country like that, Twiggy. It is going to be tough. No ifs, ands, or buts. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard, but you know, it's the right thing to do. It will slow the spread. You know, we are not slowing the spread by going around maskless. And the parts of the country where there are huge outbreaks right now is showing. So we want to bring that down. Because that's the only way that all of our livelihoods continued. You know, you have to protect lives and livelihoods here. Yeah. So we'll do it. We'll do it, and the fact that the Nationals are doing this will help all of us in our smaller stores. Okay, that all the big guys are doing it is going to help us in our environments do it. But, you know, it's the right thing to do. You know, they can be mad all the time. I'm mad that there's a virus. I wish there wasn't. I wish that none of us were dealing with this. And overall, they are. And yeah, they have, the big guys are giving masks. Best Buy, you know, Walmart, all of them are going to give masks. But it's a good thing for everybody. And most people that aren't in states that have been doing it are just forget it in the car or something. And that, you know, that's what we've seen mostly up north. But in a lot of states where there's strong civil liberties, it is not their liberty to spread a virus. It's not their liberty to do that. And it is your liberty to deny people the option to enter your store. And you're just following the rules. So we'll get everybody there. We'll get everybody there. Just like we're getting all of you to the other side of this. That's how we're getting you to the other side with your mask on. We're getting you to the other side of 2020 with Resale 2020's Reboot. Okay? The other deadline today is the guaranteed swag deadline for the NARTS virtual conference. Have you registered for the NARTS virtual conference yet? Because tonight is the deadline to ensure that you have the swag. Everybody will get it regardless of when you register, but to guarantee that you have it on time for the kickoff night, for the grand opening, swag opening. Okay? You got to register by tonight so that we can make sure we get it to you. So get yourself registered. Go to narts.org. Get yourself registered for it. All the resources we talk about here, everything we do every night, including this video, are organized for you at narts.org/resalestrong, narts.org/resalestrong, including these videos, which are on the channel. You're not alone running this store on YouTube. They're all organized there, including all the files and things we talk about here. If you have a question for me, you just email me. Email me at Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com, N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com. That's where you find me. You email me there, and make sure you include your phone number so I can give you a call back in case I have to answer your question. I am here every night at more 8 than ish every night. More 8 than ish every night. Eastern, live in the NARTS private Facebook group, taking your questions, updating you with what's going on in the world, keeping us all on the same page so that we make the second half of 2020 the best ever. We start every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start the program every night. Tonight we started on page 8 with Good Morning, Lead with Gratitude. We always do in this group. The air in your lungs, the sky above, proceed from there. Our good night tonight is good night. Curl up with gratitude. For the ground beneath you, your beating heart, proceed from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. Any kind of party that you're at, I want to be at with you. And we will do that again. Until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish. I will see you then, but know that you and you, but most importantly you, are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great night.